songs can fly on the airwaves. They just need a chance to start. Purple songs can grow and hope and faith and fly from heart to heart.
Did you know purple songs can fly? Welcome to our program, produced by the Children in Treatment at the Texas Children's Cancer and Hematology Centers. Our program is about great music made by some terrific young talents. Now, here are the hosts of Purple Songs Can Fly.
Hello, thank you, and welcome to the program Purple Songs Can Fly on the Voice America Kids Network. I am Zach Tavlin.
And I'm Emily Freeman.
And today, we will be talking with Miss Anita Kruse, the founder of the Purple Songs Can Fly program. Welcome, Miss Anita. How are you doing?
Hi there.
I'm doing great. Good to see you both.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. So, let's start off with where were you born?
I was born in Riverside, California.
Wow. How'd you make it to Houston? I wouldn't leave
It's
California.
a long trip. I've lived in Houston about 20 years.
20 years, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great city.
So when did you start singing?
You know, I sang when I was a little girl. My mom was a pianist, and so I became a pianist and started writing songs when I was in college, working on my master's degree in piano performance.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
Where have you performed?
Oh, gosh. Lots of places.
Lots
of places. Yeah.
Okay, so what was the first song you wrote, if you could remember?
You know, the very first song that I wrote was called Where Did Dreams Begin?
Oh.
And it was a song about dreams. And I actually dreamt it. And I woke up and wrote it. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
It's great. So, what exactly is the Purple Songs Can Fly organization?
So Purple Songs Can Fly is a recording studio in the Cancer Center at Texas Children's Hospital, where we work with the children being treated for blood disorders and all different forms of cancer to write and record their own songs.
Wow.
And we have a permanent studio here. We also have a portable studio where we go inpatient and work with the children bedside to write their own songs.
That's great.
So how many songs have you written
I would say
with the Purple Songs Can Fly project?
Hundreds of songs. We are to date we've written 396 songs.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
almost 400.
Almost.
That's great. So what inspired you to start Purple Songs Can Fly?
Well, I really love writing songs. I started writing songs late in my life when I was in college, and it was always a very joyful and interesting experience personally to write a song. And I've been teaching children to play the piano for many years, and I would incorporate songwriting in their lessons. So it was something that I did with children for many years before I had this idea. And I was teaching a little girl who had another piano teacher, so she just wanted to write songs with me. And at the time, the technology had advanced so that I could write a song with a child, record it, and hand them a CD of their song within an hour in their lesson. And so at that time, I was a visiting artist in the Cancer Center doing concerts with a flutist. And I had an idea that I could kind of recreate my own home studio here in the Cancer Center. And so I made a proposal to Dr. Poplik, the head of the Cancer Center, and to the Arts and Medicine program to see if it was something that they would be interested in having as a part of the Arts and Medicine program. So I formed a separate nonprofit to fund it, and that's how it began.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's a great story.
That's great. Okay, so I have to ask you, whenever working with a child, have you ever just like drawn a blank? You can't come up with anything. You're like, okay.
Kind of like right now, my pause. I have to say that we've always been able to find something to write about. I think that our minds as human beings are infinite, and our creativity is infinite, and just have to ask the right questions, and you figure out what it is you want to say. And I have been really amazed by the kinds of things that the children want to write about. And very, very often they'll want to write about people in their lives.
Yeah.
A song as a gift, someone who's meant a lot to them, or someone who's helped them while they're going through their treatment. Just all kinds of topics. I mean, we've had kids write about wanting to ride on a Harley Davidson. We've had songs about their puppy, songs about their faith, many songs about hope and being thankful. So such a wide variety of topics. But that's, I think, because human beings are multifaceted, and we all have something to share that's unique to us.
Yeah, and that's great that kids that participate in your program are able to write songs that are about things they care about and not about their illness. I know for me, that helped me a lot coming to the hospital. I got my mind off what was going on around me, and helped me cope a lot with my illness.
Yeah, and I think that's true about the arts and medicine program in general, and true about the arts in our lives. And that is that I think when we're going through things that are difficult, music has a way of moving whatever those feelings are, because music's always in motion. And I think when we think about the arts in medicine, any form of creativity has that power to move you from what you're feeling at this moment to what you're feeling 5 minutes later, because you created something. And it might be something that you didn't even know you had inside to share.
Right.
And I think that for me, being a songwriter, I've learned so much about myself, because every time I write a song, I see something new about how I think about things or how I feel about things, because it forces you to go inside yourself. And I think that's the power of music.
And what a power.
Yes, yeah. So do you have a favorite song or experience with a child here at Purple Songs?
Oh my goodness, I've had many, many, many experiences, great experiences. Certainly with both of you. You've both written beautiful songs.
Thank you.
And so many of the things that we've done in sharing the songs and concerts that we've done together have just been, I think, life-changing for me personally. So many, many great experiences.
Awesome.
That's great. That's great. So, Purple Songs Can Fly is a very specific name. What is the inspiration for the word fly in that name?
Well, in the beginning of working on the name for the project, I knew it was going to be Purple something, because I love purple and I knew the studio would be purple.
Oh, yeah.
So I knew it would be Purple Song something. And I really love the idea of flight and flying, kind of rising above illness. And so this name, Purple Songs Can Fly, it was really just the idea of flight and flight of the spirit. And then I did a Google search to look up that name. And when I did the search, I found the first website that came up was a website called If We Can Fly to the Moon. And it was a website that was made for a song I had written several years before, after September 11th. And it was called If We Can Fly to the Moon. And that song ended up flying on the space shuttle. And so when that website popped up, I thought, oh my gosh, this is not just about flight as an idea. This is about the reality of flight, and that we are really going to fly these songs. So we've flown the songs all over the world on individual flights. They've flown on 2 space shuttle missions. They've been to the top of Mount Everest, and that song, If We Can Fly to the Moon, was the inspiration for flying the songs.
Which comes to...
That's great. And thank you so much for joining us, Miss Anita. It was wonderful talking to you. You have been listening to Purple Songs Can Fly. I am Zach Tavlin.
And I'm Emily Freeman.
And you are listening to Voice America Kids. Don't go anywhere. We're going to play you If We Can Fly to the Moon by Anita Kruse. Please stay with us through the break.
Thank you.
Will we find the eyes that see inside all human tragedy? Will our minds learn how to hold the sights and sounds that take control? Will we find the answers near, the reasons and the ways to cope? Will we find the steps to walk toward a path of hope? If we can fly to the moon, if we can cry when life is cruel, if we can carry on, then every light will survive and every heart will soar and rise upon the future of all that we love. Will we find our innocence inside the pain of past events? Will our minds learn how to solve the problems as our world evolves? Will we find the beauty of the rising and the setting sun? Will we count our blessings for this new life just begun? If we can fly to the moon, if we can cry when life is cruel, if we can carry on, then every light will survive, and every heart will soar and rise upon the future of all that we love. Will we join our praying hands, still struggling to understand? Will our minds create a place that celebrates the human race? Will we lift our voices clear, transcending all our deepest fears? Will we move beyond them all to live our visions here? We can fly to the moon, we can cry when life is cruel, if we can carry on, and every light will survive, and every heart will soar and rise upon the future of all that we can fly to the moon, we can cry when life is cruel, we can carry on, and every light will survive, every heart will soar and rise upon the future of all that we love, the future of all that we love.
Hey, welcome back to Purple Songs Can Fly. I'm Zach Tavlin,
And I'm Emily Freeman.
and you are listening to Voice America Kids. Let's continue with Miss Anita Kruse and also a special guest, Simran, the very first writer of a Purple Songs Can Fly song. And let's talk about that experience. Welcome, everyone.
Hi
Thank
there.
you.
So, how old are you today, Simran?
I'm 15 years old.
And when did you write your song?
When I was 8.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's great. So, what was the process of writing your song like? What is the story behind it?
Well, I remember there was a lady writing poems on the 9th floor with kids, and so I wrote a poem with her, and I was sitting in that Ronald McDonald, the room there, and we wrote the poem with my name. For each line, we wrote something, and I mean, I remember I wrote about like a bird soaring through the sky and imagination and freedom, and I think everything behind that was just the ability of kids to just forget about their surroundings and keep pushing through no matter what.
That's great. That's great. I feel the exact same way with my songs too.
Same here.
I never talked about anything I was going through at the time. It was all about going through, pushing through. It's all good. So, what you kind of talked a little bit about it. Mm-hmm. What was your inspiration when you started writing your poem? What were you focused on?
As soon as I started writing it, that just came out. Just the freedom, I think, I was obviously hooked up to a chemo drip. I think just the thoughts of getting out, being in remission, all that just flows into that poem. And it's just about kids pushing through, like I said.
And it flew high above.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did fly. Mm-hmm. So, Miss Anita, what do you remember from that very, very first Purple song?
Yeah, it was a beautiful day. And I had made a portable studio. So we didn't have a permanent studio here yet. And I made a portable studio that I wheeled into Simran's room. And my memory is that her parents were sitting in the room, and Carol Heron, the director of the Arts and Medicine program, introduced me to the family. And I remember her mother looking at me in the eyes and saying, "You've been sent by God."
Wow.
And when she said that, I just had the most peaceful feeling that everything was going to be fine, because I was a little bit nervous. This was the first time. I didn't know if all the equipment was going to work. I didn't know if it was going to be a total disaster. And but her mother was just so calming. And Carol went to get Simran's poem because she knew that she had written this beautiful poem. And her father then said to me, "Do you know what Simran's name means?" And I said, "No, I don't." He said, "It means remembering God."
Wow.
And that was the beginning of this project. And then when the poem came and Simran read the poem, the first line was "Some bird soaring through the sky." And it was just this feeling that my dream of sharing songwriting with children and the dream of the songs flying was all coming true. And then the first song was about flight. So it was just an incredible experience, and I'm so joyful that Simran pushed through and is well and beautiful and thriving in her life.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are listening to Voice America Kids Network on Purple Songs Can Fly channel. I am Zach Tavlin.
And I'm Emily Freeman.
And our topic today is the very first Purple song. So where has your song been? An important part of Purple Songs Can Fly is flying our songs everywhere and around the world and beyond. Where has the very first Purple song been?
It has been all the way to the moon. And it's also been to another country. I think it was Spain, I think. So
Wow, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Crazy cool.
So where are you now?
I live in Katy, Texas. I go to Taylor High School now, and I'm a sophomore.
That's great. And Miss Anita, how has this first Purple song shaped the rest of the program?
Oh, I think that, as I was saying, it was a song about flight and rising above and imagination. It was like everything in that song was about what Purple Songs is about. And also Simran is an artist, and I think it was your Make-A-Wish that they gave you a studio?
No, my Make-A-Wish, I went to Disney World. I think like every other kid.
That is an amazing wish. That's wonderful.
But you have a studio, and you started painting?
Yeah, I have been doing art since I was little. My grandmas are both artists, so I've been inspired by them. And I love to raise money through my art, and I participate in making a mark and raise money for cancer.
That's
absolutely wonderful.
That's great.
What kind of art do you do?
I love abstract, and I also love still life, and I actually really like to paint birds, which is ironic because everything is flying here.
That's great. That's really cool.
Yeah.
How do you feel your experience as a child and going through cancer has shaped your art?
I think it's more my art is focused like birds and freedom, and my making a mark this year was a sunflower, and it was in a dark background. It was in darkness, there is light. And so I think everything is just focused around if you can get through anything, really, and you can rise above all obstacles in life.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That message of hope is so powerful and strong, and it really comes through your song, your art, and even just speaking to you.
Yes.
And even it's absolutely wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking with us and speaking to us.
Yes.
You have been listening to Purple Songs Can Fly. I am Zack Tavlin.
And I'm Emily Freeman.
And you are listening to Voice America Kids. Please stay with us through the break. We are going to be playing the very first Purple song by Simran, Always Remembering.
Some birds soaring through the sky, imagination in its head, moving through the wind, running off to excitement, always remembering its adventures, never getting lost. Some birds soaring through the sky, imagination in its head, moving through the wind, running off to excitement, always remembering its adventures, never getting lost. Always remembering its adventures, never getting lost.
Welcome back. Wasn't that a wonderful song?
That was great.
Yeah. We do have a live studio audience here. What'd you guys think?
How's that?
That's great. That's great. That was a great song, Simran.
Thank you.
Yes. Beautiful.
So, I was curious a little bit about where has your song led you in art, or where has art led your song?
Actually, when I was during treatment, Carol Heron, who's the head of the arts, at Texas Children's, she told me I could present my painting to Queen Noor of Jordan when she came to the Hobby Center that year.
Wow.
So I actually got to present a piece that I did to the Queen, which was pretty awesome as an 8-year-old.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
Wow.
great.
Thank you.
What do you remember of that day? Was it?
Oh, I remember being nervous because they were like, 2,000 people. And I was like, okay.
That's all. Just 2,000.
And walking in front of the stage and, everybody's dark and then everything's dark, but you see all these heads just looking at you and, walking and there's a queen, when you're 8, the word queen sticks out and you're like, oh my God.
In the spotlight. Yeah.
That's awesome. So where has your song, your experience inspire you to go in your future?
This whole entire experience has just, changed my whole life and view on everything, obviously. And I think all of us survive for a reason. So I think mine is to become a pediatric oncologist and to help kids in the future. So
That's absolutely wonderful.
That's amazing.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Simran.
thank you for having me.
I wish you all the best. And
Yeah, same
that's
here.
absolutely great. Your song is wonderful and an
Thank
inspiration
you.
to us all. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have another special guest. Today we will also speak with Mr. Perry Damone.
Hey, how's it going, Zach?
It's going great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful.
We're doing great. We're
This
doing
is-
great.
I am so thrilled to be here. I can't tell you. I mean, my
great to
heart
have
is.
you.
Oh, my heart is like, oh, this is great. I'm a little nervous. Should I be?
No, you shouldn't be nervous at all.
Not at
You're not
all.
going to beat me up too bad, all right?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Not to.
So Mr. Damone is the founder of Voice America Kids. And what got you started in radio?
Well, it started when I was a little kid. I was raised in Italy. So,
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
So, in fact, Italian is like my first language. Which
Wow.
Really?
is
Would you
kind
speak
of,
some Italian?
Sì, va bene, come stai, caro? Che fai?
Oh.
Che fai?
Oh, okay.
Fai un po' radio, sì, bravo. Yeah, so there we go. I was raised in Italy, and I come from an entertainment family. So I actually was living with my mother, who's an actress over there, and decided to come over to the United States and live with my father for some time. But the one issue we had was I knew certain words in English, and as Tonka toys, number one. Number two was pizza. Number three was thank you. You're welcome. And when I came over here, I actually went into a military school.
Wow.
So if you go into, and boarding too, I mean, I literally had to stay there for 5 days a week. So I learned English, to say the least, very quickly, and I did that through radio, which literally saved my life. Because going into a military school and being a kiddo at 10 years old, I had something called, now ready for this, it's called a transistor radio. Okay.
I have no idea what that is.
I understand. It's just a little tiny portable radio, and when I went to sleep at night, I put it under my pillow. And I used to listen to a sportscaster by the name of Vin Scully from the LA Dodgers. Do you know? Have you ever heard of Vin Scully?
Yes.
Yeah.
The name is familiar.
Yeah, he's still with the Dodger organization, and which, by the way, I got to meet for the first time last year, which was awesome.
Congratulations.
So
cool.
Great to you to meet.
Isn't that great? And
cool.
so really radio for me was so important in my life at that point, because I hung on to Vin Scully's words, word by word, pitch by pitch, and it helped me get through some restless nights. I also became very fond of a station called 93 KHJ in Los Angeles, and it had great icons like the real Don Steele and Robert W. Morgan and Charlie Tuna.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll have to Google them, and because they used to be called the Boss Jocks. It's like what I call you guys, the Boss Jocks. So, but radio was very important to me, and here I am at 57 years old from when I was 10, and I'm so blessed to still be part of doing radio and working with young people like yourselves, which I'm so proud of you. But taking what I learned and felt when I was 10 years old and to transform it into you guys doing your own radio show. If I could do my own radio show at 10 years old, I mean, I would be flipping out. This is like the coolest thing,
I know at 17 I sure am.
Yeah, see,
I know,
that's
16, right?
Yeah. So Emily,
Yes.
why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind? By the way, everybody at Voice America back in Phoenix, Arizona, would like to welcome you to the network. Jeff Spinard, president, wanted me to pass that along. Emily, tell me about yourself.
Okay, well, when I was 4 years old, I started dancing ballet. It was my passion. I got to where I was dancing 6 days a week, several hours a day, and I actually, in 2006 and 2007, I was cast in the Radio City Christmas Spectacular with the Radio City Rockettes. And that was crazy cool.
That's awesome.
Wow, that is cool.
And so in 2009, I was actually in a ballet class, and I started seeing spots before my eyes, thinking I was dehydrated. My mother took me home, pushed the fluids, but the spots didn't go away. We actually went to several eye doctors, and they didn't see anything wrong with my eyes. There was one that thought I was making it up because I wanted glasses. It's because every little girl wants glasses, right? But he said, just to make sure, have an MRI done. And we did, and there was a tumor on my optic nerve. I was admitted to Texas Children's, and I went through 6 rounds of chemotherapy, and after the second round, the tumor was gone.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow, that's great.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
So how are you doing? And now you're behind a mic doing a radio show.
Right, how crazy is that?
Is that crazy nuts?
Yes. But where the tumor was, it was pressing on my optic nerve and wrapped around the pituitary gland. And right now I have about 25 to 30% of my vision right now. So.
Well, you're beautiful. What
Thank
a beautiful
you. Thank
young
you.
lady, and what a heart. and we are so proud of you. I mean, and being part of this, it's so special. And Purple Songs Can Fly is special, too, for you.
Oh, yes. I mean, whenever I first started, it was like being back on stage again. It's great.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Well, you're going to be doing a bunch of these.
Oh, yes.
So can you tell me how many you're thinking of doing here?
Well, I've already done 3, and I have no idea how many I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
So what are the names of your songs?
the first one I did is called Back on Top.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you sing a line or two from that?
I want to get back up on top.
Very nice. Yeah. And what's the next one?
Dream big.
And a little bit of that?
Dream big, the curtains up, the stage is set, we've come to life, and now it's time to dream big.
Wow. That's absolutely great.
Thank you.
Wow, that was fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's take a break. I am Zach Tavlin.
And I'm Emily Freeman.
And you are listening to Voice America Kids and Purple Songs Can Fly. We're going to give you a break with Emily's song, I Want to Get Back Up on Top.
What you wanted to do. You can't always go where you wanted to go. You can't always stay where you wanted to stay. But if you feel chained down, don't let it get to you. Don't let it get to you. Describe, hard to go without it. I wanna get back up on top. Feels like I'm flying, feels like I'm still to go without it. I wanna get back up on top. You can't always do what you wanted to do. You can't always go where you wanted to go. Always stay where you wanted to stay. But if you feel chained down, don't let it get to you. Don't let it get to you.
welcome back to Purple Songs Can Fly. I'm Zach Tavlin.
And I'm Emily Freeman.
Along with Mr. Perry Damone.
Hello.
You are listening to Voice America Kids. Let's continue with our conversation about, well, you.
Well, can I say one more thing? You had one more song, right, Emily, that you wrote?
Yes.
I got to hear one more.
Okay.
Just one little bit. Okay.
Sure.
And what's it called?
It's called Dream Big.
Okay.
Dream big, the curtains up, the stage is set, we've come to life, and now it's time to dream big.
Wow.
Thank you.
I feel an album coming on here.
So do I.
On Purple Songs Can Fly, produced by Purple Songs Can
The
Fly.
Emily Freeman compilation. So, Mr. Damone, how have you experienced radio? You talked about how when you were a child in military school, growing up with the radio and using it to learn English, which I kind of understand. I go to a boarding school in Houston. I'm not a boarder, but some of my friends are boarding students, and they've also had to learn English coming here, and I've seen that process in them as well. But how, in your adult life, have you been involved with radio?
Well, it's a miracle. I don't talk like this, just like the monsters. But when I've been working with this program with KidStar, which I founded, which is a not-for-profit, and then when we got together with Voice America, Jeff Spinard, the president, said, "Hey, we're trying to create a kids network. Could you help us with that?" And of course, I said yes, absolutely. And we started our program in 1987, so 25 years of doing this in schools and Boys and Girls Clubs, and now with Voice America Kids. So we have now we've gone over 900 shows. Actually recorded and in the can, all different shows, from ghost hunting to fashions to sports to to everything imaginable. It's in the mix, so we really have like 32 network shows, but actual shows recorded over 900. So
That's amazing. Well, 901 now.
oh yeah, 901. That's right. Exactly.
So how did you hear about Purple Songs Can Fly?
Well, it really, we heard about it from another program up in St. Louis, and then we were introduced to Anita Kruse, and this has been a passion for me to make sure that this show airs on our network, because it's just so powerful, and the work that Anita has done and to just introduce incredible kids like yourselves is just, we need to do that, and we're doing it. So, but you know what? I just want to know more about you. Tell me everything about you. You were born at what time?
I am Zach Tavlin. I was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Moved here when I was 5. I lived in the Woodlands for several years, and I moved down here about 3 years ago to the Houston proper. I go to the village school. And I was diagnosed with a disorder called ITP, or idiopathic macro thrombocytopenia. Mouthful, I know. Sorry.
Could you tell our listeners a little bit more about what that is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's very similar to hemophilia, but unlike hemophiliacs who do not produce enough platelets, my body makes enough to be normal. But my white blood cells, it's an autoimmune thing, so my white blood cells think that they are a foreign body and attack them at all times.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So that I was diagnosed with that when I was about 10 or 11. It seems like forever, but it's 10 or 11, and I've been living with it ever since.
How are you doing now? I mean, you both look absolutely fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful, and you look great.
Thank you.
So how are you doing?
Well, my disorder is a disorder that's, at my age, getting it, it's pretty much almost always lifelong. So I'm going to probably have it for forever. Most kids that get it are actually infants, and they grow out of it very quickly after they get out of like a NICU. But for me, I got it when I was, 11 or 10, which is generally lifelong when it happens. I'm doing okay.
No, I mean, you're just fantastic. I mean, you're doing a radio show for heaven's sakes.
I'm doing a radio show. I'm back in school.
So can you give some advice to some other kids that may be going through this? how do you keep strong? How do you keep your positive attitude? I really like to hear that because to have you behind this microphone and just the way both of you sound, I want you to tell a kiddo out there that's going through this, give them some suggestions and some advice.
For me, I found a lot of strength in my family and how we banded together through this illness. For me, I felt that my family relationships got stronger after I was diagnosed, and that helped me a lot through it as well. And also personally, keeping my eyes on the future and what I can do over what I cannot do helps put things in perspective. I'm doing a radio show right now. I'm back in school.
Right.
I might not be able to play football, but I can play golf. So, that's kind of the attitude that I try to have.
And how old are you?
I am 17, almost 18, senior in high school.
Wow. So, well, you've got a home with us. As long as you want, and we'll give you that voice to the world.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, tell me how you got involved with Purple Songs Can Fly.
Sure. Well, when I was 11, sitting up in the Cancer and Hematology Center, I was working with getting diagnosed at the time, and it took a while from the diagnosis, me several weeks. And during that time, I would be approached by this volunteer. Would you like to write a song, Zachary? No, I would not. Not at all. Would you like to play a song today? Oh. Nope, I'm good. And then this went on for several weeks until one day I was just like, okay, fine, sure, I'll write a song. I'll write a song with you. So me thinking, I can't write a song. I go and I say I can't write a song. And she says, well, what do you feel passionate about? At the time, I wanted to be a marine biologist. And so I said, well, I don't eat fish. I could write a song on that if you want. And somehow this actually became a real thing, and we wrote a song. That's why I don't eat fish. So it is now immortal, and that was my first song. And honestly, although I went into it, I was very hesitant to write a song because the environment here, although they attempt and do a very good job making it very comfortable, I was absolutely hard. I was scared. I had no idea what I had. I had never been in the hospital longer than a day before, and I was really scared. And so being able to come, write a song, and then afterwards even write more, not focused on my illness and getting diagnosed, not focused on anything negative, just focused on me, really helped me out and made a experience that could have been, and in some ways is, a very scary and negative one into a lot more positive. And now I feel like I have a family at the hospital.
Now, my question is, do you eat fish?
Now I do. The joy known as fried catfish tempted me back over time.
Okay, I was just checking there, just to make sure. Well, you know what? We just welcome you with open arms. You are part of the Voice America Kids family, and we're so proud of you, and we're just so excited to have you on the network. I know you're going to be doing a lot of shows. And Purple Songs Can Fly is going to fly even higher right now. So because of both of you. So thank you so much for inviting me, and it was a pleasure coming from Phoenix to Houston.
Thank you for coming. It was great to talk to you. It's great talking to you.
Great to have you.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey, we will see you again next time. You have been listening to Purple Songs Can Fly, produced by KidStar on the Voice America Kids Network. I am Zach Tavlin.
And I'm Emily Freeman.
And you are listening to Voice America Kids. See you next time.
And here is Zach's That's Why I Don't Eat Fish.
Yeah.
all left. A fish farm is not where they need to be. I wanna see them swimming free. That's why I don't eat fish. 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 That's why I don't eat fish.
Thanks for listening to Purple Songs Can Fly. We'll see you again next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Kids channel. And remember, for more information about the Purple Songs Can Fly project, visit www.purplesongscanfly.org. We'll be back with more music next week.
Purple songs can fly.